My name is Matt Bisenius. I am the associate producer at Human Head Studios working on Prey 2. As far as inspiration, we draw inspiration from everywhere, and no question about it. But what really happened here is that we had a game idea, this bounty hunter in the Prey universe, and we built from the ground up. So what does a bounty hunter need to do? He needs to be agile. He needs to jump around and climb and hang and do that sort of stuff. He needs to have a bunch of gadgets and weapons and be just a badass. And so we built this character from the ground up, and I think people draw the conclusion out to other games, but really we tried to make him his own unique thing. So Prey 2 is tied to Prey 1 in that it carries forward all the major themes of Prey 1 that we deem necessary to be part of the Prey franchise. We have alien abduction, we have the predator-prey relationship, although in this game we sort of experiment with the other side of that. In Prey 1, you had Tommy always being pursued as prey. Now we have Killian pursuing aliens. We also have the alien big bad is still the keepers. They're still present in this Prey universe. And we also have the one man against many aliens. And those core things definitely carry forward. A few things didn't get carried forward into Prey 2 for particular reasons. We had, for instance, gravity walk and portals. Those were part of the sphere and that sort of mythology. So when Tommy destroys the sphere, those things went with it. We also have spirit walk and death walk with Tommy. Those are part of Tommy. Tommy is not the key protagonist in Prey 2, even though he is present. And so with him not being the protagonist, those sort of went away as well.
I mean, do you think it's fair to justify calling it a sequel? I mean, considering that for many, those were the key pillars that made up the original, does it kind of not come off as more this, like a spin-off rather than a direct sequel?
Prey 2 is definitely a sequel of Prey 1 in that it carries forward all the core themes that I mentioned earlier, the abduction and the prey-predator relationship. The protagonist itself doesn't necessarily make the sequel. So yeah, we do have a new protagonist, but that doesn't make it not Prey. So we definitely think this belongs in the Prey franchise and is the next sequel in the game. From day one in design, we decided that with a lot of things, we want player choice to be the paramount guidance and guiding factor in how we do things. So the best choice we can give the player is where they go in the world and when they go there. And to do that, we needed to go open world. So in doing so, we strayed away from the linear corridor gameplay of Prey 1, and we have an open world in Prey 2. As far as gameplay progression goes, the story itself is going to have some major key beats that every player is going to experience, and those will happen in a general order. But to get to those beats and through those beats, players may experience different things along the way, and those different things will flavor the story in unique ways. So there is a general high-level story that everyone's going to experience, but the overall experience is going to be completely unique. As far as Prey 2 goes, with multiplayer, we decided that from day one, we weren't going to be doing it. So as far as analyzing why and how that would have worked out, there hasn't been a whole lot of thought put into it. It's been off the plate since the beginning, so we haven't had to worry about it. We wanted to focus solely on single player for, the sole reason of making a great single player experience. We have a medium-sized team, 45, 50 people, and if we start splitting that up against broadly different game styles, multiplayer versus single player, we're going to get ourselves in trouble and spread ourselves too thin. So yeah, we wanted to pile everyone on the Prey 2 single player experience and just make the best game we could. The teaser trailer, I think, is a great little run into Prey 2. What you're seeing is actually a plane being abducted by aliens. That plane was in Prey 1. So for those who know Prey 1 very well, they'll recognize, okay, yeah, there's a plane crash in Prey 1. That's probably the same thing. It is. It is absolutely the same thing. On that plane was our protagonist for Prey 2, Killian Samuels. He's a U.S. Marshal. So people didn't really know that at the time, but now that the info is kind of coming out, they're realizing, okay, that's the guy I'm going to be playing. That's kind of cool. So yeah, that plane is the one that gets sucked up into the sphere, and that's where the game begins. Killian awakes from that crash and starts taking on aliens. Along with the player choice direction that we went from day one was also not only open world, but also to give them lots of things at their disposal. That includes gadgets, weapons, upgrades, ammo types of missions, types of NPC encounters. So yeah, we wanted to give a player everything we possibly could to let them experience this world how they chose. So we had to give them the tools to choose from. Well, there's a couple of different ways to obtain missions and interactions in Prey 2. One of those ways is just to stumble into open world events, which are generated dynamically throughout the world, lots of different types, and those types have lots of variations within those. Those exist through all the core levels. So you can bump into those and experience that. You can also take major missions, and those missions are accepted from a bounty wire or taken from a mission giver. There's a handful of mission givers in the game you'll interact with frequently, and they will give you the bigger missions that will earn you more money and sort of take you to new places and give you a lot more story elements as well. As far as the economy goes in Prey 2, you can earn money by taking bounties and missions and killing, looting, whatever it may be. And then once you have that money, you can spend it on gadgets, weapons, upgrades, ammo types, and information. As a bounty hunter, information is pretty valuable stuff, and so you can pay for that at times. Prey 2 will be released in the year 2012.